platforms. Please like, share, and subscribe. We're on BitChute, YouTube, NewTube, Rumble, and anything else, Wimkin, anything else that Mac feels I may have forgotten that needs to be mentioned, have at it. In any event, I don't think we're too hard to find right now. This past week, there was a hearing in the House of Representatives. And one of my theories is, in the wake of the leak of the Supreme Court draft, I suspect, this is just a theory, but I suspect the Democrats wanted to have this hearing so as to bolster the necessity, their reasoning of making some kind of national pro-abortion law. Okay? That's why I think, because the fact that they had it when they had it after the leak tells me, okay, well now they're in search of some sort of justification, you know? So they bring this this lady, her name is Amy Arambide, if I'm saying the name correctly, Arrambide, to appear before a House hearing. And while the Republicans questioned her, a GOP representative, Dan Bishop from North Carolina, asks her to define what a woman is. And her response is, I believe that everyone can identify for themselves. And she, basically, he being Dan Bishop, Representative Bishop, trying to get her to clarify her position. She's basically saying that if a man says he's a woman, then he really is a woman. And so then Representative Bishop asks her, do you believe that men can become pregnant and have abortions? She says definitively, yes.
See, it isn't about truth, it's about feelings.
I've made the comment before, this is why you can't reason with these people. How do you even begin to have, you have an issue, everyone has their position, and then you conduct a logical, reasoned debate. You can't reason with this.
I'll go back to
you cannot reason
a video
with
you and I watched many years ago before a bowling tournament or something. It was the late Archbishop Fulton Sheen talking about dealing with neurotics and psychotics. And he used the example that you can't reason or have a conversation like you just said with a psychotic, which she clearly is. You can't tell them that 2 + 2 is 5 because they believe it. And there's nothing going to change their mind.
This same Amy, under questioning from someone else, and I don't have here who was asking her, but this same Amy would later say that she was for abortion up until the moment of birth, and when the GOP representative was, I'll use the word interrogating her because of her absurdities.
Well, that's why she was there.
Says you don't see a problem with, and she said, draw a distinction, and I think it was a female representative, and I wish I had the clip on this. They said, where do you draw this distinction of when it becomes life? She wouldn't answer that question. She fell back to I believe the woman has the right to make that determination.
Wow.
In other words, since the baby can't reason for itself, because it can't reason for itself, it has no right in defense of itself.
Right.
So it is exclusively the woman's decision, and whatever she decides is the right decision.
Essentially making women gods.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. Then, and this is crazy. I read this news report since I'm going to use the right's term or the left's term here, even though I don't feel it's the proper term. But the left says since the Republicans are going to overturn Roe versus Wade, men must get vasectomies now.
Well, that's the logical next conclusion, don't you think? I mean,
since you're taking it away from the women, well, now the guy's got to get snipped, you know,
well, then we with that thinking, we solve our climate change problem because there will be no more human beings produced.
MSNBC, not to let us down, had a panel about what the Supreme Court was going to do regarding Roe v. Wade, and Liz Plank was the one. She says data shows men are taking pregnancy prevention into their own hands. I guess, you know what, taking it into their own hands. I guess the woman's so hot they can't control themselves, and since they can't control themselves, they got to get vasectomy.
I did hear a lady who made an argument, pro-abortion argument, because God made their sex drive so great they can't help themselves. So I was astonished by this comment. I said, so you're blaming God. It's God's fault that you're so horny that you got to drop your panties for every guy that comes along, and then when there's a consequence for doing it, you kill the baby and blame God. Boy, wouldn't it be great to be a woman, except they're so oppressed.
Yeah. And my final thoughts on this whole topic of their absurd position in all of this. Of course, AOC had to mock the Christians for opposing abortion. AOC was saying, there are some religions that don't view a baby in the womb as even a life. So now she's going to somehow impugn Christianity as if if your position is at the moment of conception we have an eternal soul and it is in fact a life, what makes your belief, your religious belief, any more important than a Buddhist or a Hindu or a whatever that doesn't necessarily share the same views on the unborn baby?
She's dragging in a straw man here.
Religion
has got nothing to do with the abortion issue.
Well,
science has got to do with the abortion issue. Separate DNA.
Yeah.
A heartbeat.
Brain activity.
Oh, this is
reaction to pain.
We'll keep pounding this disinformation drum because it's that important. But they use phrases like, they don't say they suck its brains out. The contents of the skull.
In any event, when I saw the article about men need to get vasectomies since they're taking away from the woman the right to an abortion, and that's how it's kind of.
Well, we're making them have babies.
You know what? If I can't get my abortion, you got to get snipped. Is really what the argument when you cut through all the smoke and mirrors.
It's at the end of the day women who have to speak out against this, and if you're going to blame God, then just shut your stupid mouth.
That's all I got. You got any further rant?
No.
Okay. All right. That's it for these two old guys ranting. So we'll catch you in the next one. As always, be safe, watch your six, and don't tread on me.